Hello, this is Annette with Project Refine Life. Welcome to my channel and this unboxing of the Black Violet Tarot. Now I know that on TarotTube, this is not a new deck by any means. However, I never purchased the India version and I missed not once but twice the Black Blossom or the Cherry Blossom. There we go. The Cherry Blossom edition, which I really liked, but I missed it. But that particular edition had that like really soft pink type color instead of the black and the white. Oh, look it. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Anywho, but that edition was really cool to me because she had kind of named it, even though it was called the Cherry Blossom edition, she also referred to it as the Hope Sandoval edition. Hope Sandoval is from Maisie Star, and if you have not heard Fade Into You, you're missing out because it's an awesome song. So just saying. Anywho, I had never bought any of the editions. There was 3 separate editions. This is the mass market edition. I found it yesterday at Barnes & Noble, so I was happy to pick it up. And I do love the whole concept of the deck. The deck was made, I'm just gonna go ahead and start opening it, at a time when she was losing her mother to cancer and also pregnant with her child. So these 2 colors, for me, it's like just a beautiful concept of this time. Oh no, it's broken. I don't like that. I think this was the only one there, so I'm not really going to be taking it back. But the box is, I'll try to fix it. Even though I don't like holding some of my decks in these big boxes, I'm probably going to try to fix this because it's a pretty nice quality box. It was just mishandled, as you can see, during shipping. But it does have this really nice purple ribbon that you can pull your deck in and out of. And then it comes with this purple edging and this very nice, just no more plastic, right? Just that was enough. The plastic on the outside plus this. So that's awesome. But I was getting back to that point of that duality of death and rebirth, and learning to find a point of where you're at grips with both of them, being content or being supportive within the death and the rebirth, and just meshing the 2 together. For me, that's really an important concept. So here's the guidebook. My ranting, right? Here's the guidebook. This deck is by Heidi Phelps, and she is an artist out of Washington, D.C. This is a really nice quality guidebook. So it doesn't have too much in the beginning. Couple of spreads here, 3 spreads. How to use the cards, pips and court cards. The table of contents is in the beginning, a little introduction to get to know her a little bit better, and then it gets straight into the cards. So here are the majors. So about a page and a half. The print is a little small. So like for me, I'm gonna have to make sure that I'm in the light or I'm wearing my glasses because the print is a little small. They probably could have gone a little bit bigger with that print being all the room that they have. And I do mention that just because, you know, for me, as I wear glasses, it's important to tell you about, but remember that my eyesight is nobody else's reason to make her guidebook or a guidebook in a completely different direction for me, you know. So saying that just so that everybody's aware, like the guidebook is fine. If your eyes are great, you're gonna have no problem reading this guidebook. But here, see how this comes down a little bit? There is an author's note here. So maybe she left it there so either you could have an author's note or maybe you could make your own note, which is kind of a good idea here. So let's look at the minors. Okay, there are some extra cards here and I'm sure we're going to discover those as we go on and look into the book. Here's the minors. And the same thing, which is really great. I really like when they give as much detail to the minors as the majors. And here we are. Nice, I like it. Okay, so now on the indie edition, I have to say I really, really loved the backs. The backs were black on black or black on white, or there was one version where it was white with some very light, I think very light pink colors. That is the cherry blossom edition. So this, you still have these little flowers here inside the circle, but then you have this image here. I like it, it's fine. And I have to remember, like, there's a big difference in price between the indie plus the mass market. It is edged in gold. It's not bad. It doesn't feel bad, and nothing is stuck together, which is really, really good, because even now I keep hearing about decks that come in and, you know, they're stuck together, the edging is just stuck. So that's not the case with these. So let's go ahead and just start the flip through, and then I'm gonna go ahead, you know me, I've got to try to pair them up with something. I really like some of these images and I was kind of drawn to them. I am curious and I'm hoping that the guidebook will explain. I'm thinking that they're violets here on a lot of these images, but I really like some of the little details that she put into these cards. So for the Page of Cups here, see this little fish jumping in the water? I think that's really cool. There's just little things here and there that I noticed that I really, really like. The Seven of Cups is, you know, it's a very clean, uncluttered deck, but gives depth. I feel like there's depth within this, within the black and the white, that duality, everything that exists in between. That's one of the reasons that I really love black and white decks, is just there's so much depth within the two colors. And I think sometimes that is not taken into consideration when it comes to black and white decks. Here's the Two of Cups, and again, all of these beautiful flowers surrounding them. They're both holding up those lotus flowers within their hands and coming together with those two cups. Very, very pretty. King of Cups. I love the lion within the background as she's holding up that wand. Very pretty. Oh, and then here's the lioness for the Queen of Wands. Very pretty. Knight of Wands. She's got something going on down here. Oh, that's a little chameleon right there. Yeah, I think that's what it is. And then the Ten of Wands. This one I really like. So here we are within the wait a minute. I got things a little confused here. So here we are within the 9 and the 10. So in the 9, you can see that she looks a little distressed. And, you know, even for me, trying to look at it, I really have to focus in because of my eyes. But you can see that she's under some distress here. Even what she's wearing is a little disheveled. But here within the 10 of Wands, you can see that she has found a way to manage this. And I really like that. She is leaning forward. She's not walking in straight. She's leaning forward. She's found something to carry this load. So she has, in other words, like made it part of how she can walk with that load, which I appreciate, because within that duality of birth and death, like carrying the load of something heavy, sometimes there's no way to rid yourself of that load. Sometimes you have to deal with that emotion, and this is where this deck comes from. So I'm speaking from my experience, but also pertaining it to her own. Sometimes there's no way to get rid of that load, but you just have to learn how to walk with it. So for that reason, I really like what I saw there within that 10 of Cups. Very, very pretty. The Queen of Pentacles, you could see how beautiful, how grounded she is, how peaceful she is. She got the little bunny jumping there in the side. I think that there's some really nice little details within this deck. I love here the Nine of Pentacles where she's holding on to that bird. The bird and her have come to an agreement. They're in peace. Seven of Pentacles, I love that she's looking up at everything that has come to be or is abundant within the life or the tree that she's been managing or growing or taking care of. You could see that she's proud of the growth that's there. So I like that. Six of Pentacles. I like that she's holding the little scale here at the side. I think that's really nice. There was another one that I really, really liked. So let's see if I can come across it here in a moment. I like the Three of Pentacles. They're underneath like this arbor, and it looks like they're all taking part in this. So that's really nice. Two of Cups, or Two of Pentacles rather. King of Swords, I love the butterflies. This air, this transformation has taken part from deep thought. And from that, there's that idea that things are transforming, things are changing because of the ability to think clearly and to allow yourself to grow from it. I like that correlation. To me, that's what that means. Queen of Swords, again, she's working with those butterflies for that release. You know, you have to think your way through some of these transformations sometimes. And they all have these butterflies here up into the page. Let's see. I know these are a little out of order. I kind of ruffled them a little bit as I was putting them back together. Here's a 7 of Swords. I like this because there's nobody else there. It's her. It's just her causing, in a sense, her own chaos. She's outside of the castle. She's outside of it. So this is all on her. 8 of Swords. She's all tied up there. And I know, I'm sorry, I got them out of order. 5 of Swords. Again, I like this depiction here. 4, 3, 2, here's the Ace. Okay, and then here's some of these extra cards. I never got to, hold on a second, let me see here. Where was that one? I'm sure, oh, here we go. It was the 6 of Swords. I love this. Remember, she was pregnant. She had lost, or she was losing or lost her mother during this time, and she was pregnant, having her baby. And she is depicted here as moving in to something that is calmer, that is sweeter, acknowledging where she came from and where she's going, and just being within that mindset. I really appreciated that, especially knowing the backstory of the card and really understanding it from another perspective, because, and like I said, and it's no secret here, but I had lost my son going on 19 years now. And I was just about to get married with my husband, so we postponed it for a little while. And within that short time of losing my son and getting married, we decided we would go ahead and try to have a baby. So as I was managing grief of losing my son, within that first year or so, I was also pregnant. So I understand that death and rebirth part of it. So it does touch very deeply for me. So I understand it. So here's an extra card here, which is Coven. That is so cool. Look at them around the cauldron. And then Ghost. There we go. Look at that. So she's holding on to her heart as she's being approached by this ghost, this spirit. I do like it because, you know, sometimes when you come into contact with spirit, you're not quite sure, like, what do I do with this? How do I work with this? So I'll be interested to see how the guidebook reads. The World card, I love that. She is within her own world. She is the world. I love that. That is so pretty. Now, Judgment. This is a card that I was like, yes, that is beautiful. Look at, she's looking at her own reflection. And that is just gorgeous. Again, here with all the flowers, and they're howling at the moon. Beautiful. The sun is her baby. That I love it. The star, gorgeous. The tower is a very important card for me. I really like this tower. It's your basic interpretation of the tower. So if you're familiar with RWS, you could even get started on this deck. From looking at this, there's enough here that relates to the RWS to get started if you're starting tarot. The Devil, she's dragging them along. Look at that. So where are you being bound? Where are you dragging yourself along by not releasing some of those ideas, those thoughts? That's really good. Death. Okay, so now this Death card, I don't know if you can see it, and I don't want to get too close, but I don't want to go too far, so maybe I'll just take a picture and zoom in or something like that. But she's holding on to a skull right here. And at first I thought that these were all skulls below her, but they're not. It looks like they're the flowers. Here's a skull. And again, here are those birds again, right? So a part of that transformation as well. Temperance, walking on that tightrope. The Hanged One. I love it. And it looks like she's wearing her ballet shoes right there, and they're kind of floating down there. Justice. This is fantastic. I love it. She's holding that scale and seeing both sides. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The Hermit. The Wheel of Fortune. I love it. I love that. The cycles, the ongoing cycles. Everything is just a phase, right? We just keep moving along. There's that beautiful lion again, standing in its strength and being one with it, being at peace with it. The Chariot, look at her hair is just flowing in the wind. She's just going with it. The Lovers, I really think is pretty. Very nice. I love this. And as you can see, I don't see 2 separate wings. I see, or 4 separate wings. I see 2 wings within the 2. So it's her light and her shadow. Beautiful. The Hierophant, the Empress. So, so pretty. The High Priestess. This one kind of made me stop and look for a little bit. I love the wispiness of this. And look at that. The 3 moons on top. Really, really pretty. The Magician, look at her hands. Her palms are the fire. They are what's creating everything. So even though the Magician holds her tools, your tools are within you. Like you have your magic right here within the palm of your hands. And I'm always talking about that. Like, I love the tools that I have. I love these decks. I love my physical tools that I have, my obsidian knife, all of these things, my chumpy stones, my crystals. Like, these are all tools to get the magic or to help along the magic, the representation of the magic. But bottom line is this, our palm of our hands and our mind and our heart to be in it. That's all that we ultimately need. So I love seeing this. This is really, really pretty. And she is standing right at the cliff here with this Fool. I think this is just a beautiful, beautiful deck. And now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, why didn't I get this sooner in the indie edition? But you know what? I'm really happy. I'm able to save quite a bit of money. That's kind of hard for me to get my hands around right now. Let me see. Let me try that again. Let's see. Okay, you know what? Not bad. Not bad at all. There is a little bowing, but maybe it's because I'm kind of rough. I don't do the whole bridging thing. And as a matter of fact, for the most part, I don't even riffle shuffle my decks. I mostly do it here or when I'm just trying to shuffle a new deck, or say I haven't worked with the deck in a while, then maybe I'll do that. But as you can see, so there's a deep bend here, but look at that. See that? They go right back. So the cardstock is a little thin, but I think it's going to be able to take some use. So that is a good thing. Whoops, I'm picking up this whole thing here. All right, guys, let's start our pairings here because, you know, we have to have the pairings. All right, one of the first decks, well, there's a couple of decks that I thought of, but let's go ahead and put this in here. So this is the Poiesis Tarot or Oracle, sorry, oh my goodness. But even though this is the cream on black and this is the black and white, I thought that these images and the overall feel, I think, will go very nicely together. The Poiesis is a beautiful deck, beautiful images, black or cream and white, pretty much working with that duality as well. However, the poems from the Poiesis are so beautiful. They're so gentle. And just knowing the duality on what this deck here, the Black Violet Tarot, was based on, I think that this would be a very compassionate reading. I think that these would work beautifully together. You have the Sun, Freedom, and the World. Ah, yes. Okay. I like it. Let's see here. The Moon, Expand, and Ghost. Guys, I could get so deep with this one right here. Oh my goodness. If I had time, if you guys were sitting here with me. Wow, I like that. Okay, one more. 8 of Cups, Heal, and Knight of Pentacles. Oh, look at the smoke. Okay, I like it. All right, so I like this together, so that's a yes for me as far as pairing options are concerned. So yes to that pairing. Hello. You know, sometimes you think oh, this one might work, this one might work, but then when it comes right down to it, do they really work? You know, you have to really put them together and see and try some readings to see if energetically they're going to work together. This, of course, is my lovely Reclaim Oracle. I know a lot of people say that it's a little rough. I don't know. I just don't see it as a rough deck. I see it as a truthful deck, a deck that really doesn't hold back. I love that. Look at that. And I do love the pickup of this light pink here. And this, see, these two, this deck here in the Cherry Blossom Edition, it was colored similar to this. So, wow, that must look beautiful together. But I missed out. I missed out not once, but twice. Anywho, King of Wands, Doubt, and Two of Wands. Okay. Yeah, I was saying that sometimes just because you think that a deck will work well together because artistically they may jive, if it doesn't work energetically, it doesn't matter what it looks like and how the colors mesh and how the art meshes. If it doesn't work right energetically, it just doesn't matter, because if you're not getting a good reading, if you're not hearing what you need to hear from these decks, and really it is about these decks speaking to you, right? And you listening, paying attention, and being involved with the reading. But if they're not meshed well energetically, it's not going to matter how they look together. But I think these will work well together. I did like the Poises. I love the aesthetics of these two together, but I'd really have to do a reading to see if energetically they're going to work together. All right, so let's look at my next idea for a pairing. And this one, of course, this is one of my all-time, like, yes, you don't know what to put with it, grab the Narrative Alchemy Tarot, because the Narrative Alchemy Tarot, solid colors, one key word, and then the number and the sign that is represented within the tarot deck on the bottom. But this, of course, could go so well in so many ways and can be worked with so many dynamics. This, I think I'm really gonna love, and I love the pop of color. And this can also really tie in. I'm right in the middle of a 7-day chakra challenge. So this would work really well energetically for those type of readings as well. So I think that's really, really pretty. I think that's gonna work really well together. Okay, now this deck, I don't have the latest of these decks, but I do plan on getting them. I guess at this point I'm like 3 behind at this point, and I do want to go get it because I like them. I think they're good. Okay, so this is by the original artist here. There is a slight difference between the artist that's doing these cards now, and this is the Season of the Witch. This is the Beltane Oracle. So the art now is a little bit softer within the images, and I think that these two will have a very nice, like, they're good companion decks for one another. I think that'll work really, really well. I kind of like that. I can see how that would work. And then let's go ahead and move on. Got a couple more to share with you. Another deck that I thought could probably work together is Roots and Wings. And this one, I thought, well, the art almost like the softness of the art, it feels very similar. And the softness of the overall feeling of Roots and Wings, I think along with this deck, because it's black and white, because you're dealing with that duality, I think that the pop of color within the two and that bright energetic spot in the middle with this oracle could work really well together. So you have Wheel of Fortune, Hope, and Ace of Swords. I think these would look really, they look good together, but I think energetically, I mean, they're not like, wow to me, but I think that energetically, they're gonna work beautifully together. Okay, one more deck. I want you guys to tell me, like, if you have this deck, what are you pairing it up with? If you can think of anything offhand, let me know, because I always like to hear about what you guys are thinking as far as pairings. I love to pair my deck. So this is my beautiful Dirt Gems. This is now mass market as well. So you can pick both of these up for less than you would have paid for one of these in the indie version. Fantastic, right? Like, isn't that great? So everybody can kind of take part in some of these things here. I love this deck. I love the Dirt Gems. And I love that this has this black or dark background within the Dirt Gems, and yet very colorful. This is one of my all-time favorite decks. So pairing it up with this deck, I mean, it can't go wrong to me. And I love the art styles together as well. I think this is going to be fantastic, knowing the Dirt Gems the way that I do, and just looking at this and understanding the premise of the deck, I think is going to be beautiful. So as soon as I'm done with my 7-day challenge, I am going to start working with some of the pairings, and then you can hear about it as I wrap everything up at the end of the month. I think those are going to look really, look at that. Oh, they look so good together. I really love this. Okay. All right, guys, this is it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. I wish you a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will see you later.